What a beautiful way to start our service. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Jan Meslin.
And I'm Douglas Pillsbury.
We are your worship associates this morning. In all the spiritual and ethical traditions that share your life, you are welcome here. Douglas and I are especially excited to share our experiences along with others from UUSLO who were with us a couple of weeks on some international adventures.
Whether you're here in the sanctuary or joining us online, up there, we're so glad you're here. If you're new, we'd love to get to know you. Please fill out a green visitor card if you're new to UUism or this congregation and want to know more about us. Stop by the newcomers table in the social hall after the service. And also after the service, all are welcome to stay a bit and connect at coffee hour in the social hall or on Zoom in the chat. Today we are doing something very special in the social hall, so please do stop by and participate. The mission of this faith community is to deepen connections by nurturing spiritual growth, practicing justice, and inspiring joy. We have several reminders today for deepening connections. After the service in the library, the membership director, Larry Iquinta, where is he? There he is, will be hosting UU 101 to learn more about the Unitarian Universalist faith tradition. To name a few UUSLO events coming up: Coffee with the Minister in Los Osos, a discussion on hypnosis, a Halloween potluck, a Braver Angels event on depolarizing ourselves, and don't forget, it's Socktober. Drop them off outside of WE. Details, of course, are all in the weekly news.
In October, we are exploring what it means to cultivate compassion. Wherever you are, here, in person, or with us online, let's take a moment to warm up the space with a greeting. Turn to someone nearby, say hello, smile, or wave. I'll ring the chime when it's time to return. I do these. This congregation respectfully acknowledges and honors Indigenous communities. UUSLO stands on land which was taken from the Yak-Tichu-Tichu Yak-Tilhini Northern Chumash tribe without consideration, agreement, or compensation. We honor their historical and sacred connections to this land. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light a chalice to enter holy time together. Let this lighting of the chalice help us bring our hearts fully into this shared space. Today's chalice lighting words are by Gregory Palais. As we light this chalice, may all who gather here be filled with joy and hope, filled with compassion and love, so that we may pour ourselves out into the world. Let's sing the doxology written today by me, not by Allison for a change.
In the words of Edward Everett Hale, I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing from the Gray Hymnal, number 159, This Is My Song, or you may follow the words on the screen.
My home, the
I now invite all the children and youth and associated adults to come up to the front of the sanctuary to listen to our time for all ages with Janet Murphy and Jen Meslin. And we'll dim the lights so we can watch some slides.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm so happy to see all your smiling faces this morning. My friend Jan is going to talk to us today about the trip that they just went on to build that house. Remember, they talked to us a little bit before they went? So you can start.
Just 3 weeks ago, Douglas and I were up here getting ready to go, and we shared with some of you. Kit said that you built a chicken coop, so that was really helpful to us. That was pretty cool. Since then, 10 of us from UU San Luis Obispo have driven down to San Diego. We crossed the border into Mexico. We helped to build a house with a family. Would you believe we did the whole thing in 1.5 days? Wow. We also stayed an extra day just to be at the giant border wall.
All right, so we also have some photos to accompany. So let's see. I have never done this, believe it or not.
The big button, yeah.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
So Jan, tell us about this picture here, about the trip.
Okay, well, first I want you to meet Mateo, 8 years old, and Anderson, 11, who are painting with me. They were the two boys who we're going to be living in the home that we built. About 30 of us participated from around the state of California, and each one of us had important things to do. Of course, many of us didn't know where to start, but we were trained and guided by some very talented carpenters who live in Mexico. Mateo especially liked to paint. Here we're painting blue, some of the walls of the house, but he liked to paint the beige color also a lot, with 2 paintbrushes at once sometimes.
Okay, and tell us, how much work did you actually do?
Whew. Look at this picture. You see people up on the roof starting to make the roof. You see all the walls have gone up here. Inside there are 3 rooms. You can't really see. There's a lot of work, a lot of hammering and pounding, and all of us, all 30 of us were involved in this. Me, I was just mostly doing painting and setting up painting and cleaning up painting.
Phew, that sounds like a lot of work, Jan. I'm wondering,
Well,
did
it's
you get
fun.
any time off?
Sure, we could take breaks if we needed to. That's pretty important. And we were tired. It wasn't really that hot, but it was nice to take breaks and get to know folks a little better. This is Leo swinging. He found a tire swing. He's from Long Beach Unitarian Universalist congregation, and he and his dad came with us. He found a tire swing and was taking some time off. You can see the surrounding area. Look how pretty the hills, and they told us that at night it's really pretty because they see stars and they see lights off in the distance.
And I know we've been talking about how our community is so important to helping us feel connected, and I think it's cool that you can see the homes behind there. That's their community they're going to live in and be a part of now. Cool.
Sure
So
is.
tell us, who went with you? Oh, wait, no, first tell us about the family.
There were 4 people in the family. That's Victor and Paula, the parents, and then Anderson and Mateo, who will live there. This is after the house was already done. We made a sign for the front that says Familia Mira Hermida. That's their family name. So this is the family. They all were involved in working to paint and to build, so we got to know them. Wonderful family.
All right, and you're going to tell us who went with you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's see.
It's a
who
little
did
hard to
those.
see, but
This is all of us, minus a couple people who had stepped away maybe. I told you there were about 30. You may know some of these people. You'll be hearing from them later in the service. In fact, please stand and wave if you went with us down to Mexico.
let's see who you are. Woo, look at
And in the
that.
back. And there are a couple who aren't here. Marie, and Tracy were with us, but they're at home finishing up their COVID time, so they couldn't be with us today. Hi, Marie. Hi, Tracy.
They're probably online, right?
Yeah, they're online. I
All
hope.
right, so anything else you want to tell us before we leave here?
Well, before we left, the three boys had become friends. And here they were taking some time off, obviously. They're watching Harry Potter movie in Spanish. And yeah, it's fun. So maybe you can go to Mexico sometime and make friends and have fun too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mexico or other places to do things.
A
Do
lot
good
of,
work.
yeah.
lots
Or
of good
even
work.
here.
That's right.
It'd be nice if we could invite them here, wouldn't it?
Do any of you have any questions you'd like answered from Jan before we go? Evie?
When?
Where?
Where?
in Mexico
Okay,
was it?
well, have you heard of Rosarito? It's a little town. When you cross in from San Diego to Tijuana, that's where we stayed, was in Tijuana, and about 20 minutes or half an hour drive down to Rosarito. It's another community right on the beach. And up in the hills around Rosarito is where this home was. You have a
So
picture?
northern Mexico. Not that
the
far
thing
south.
going down, the boot thing going down, that's called Baja California. Is that what you? Yeah, it was right on the northern part of there, right on the northern part. Yeah.
Just when you cross over the border from California into Mexico. So right there at the top. All right, anything else? Okay, well, we are going to go off to do some exploring today. Thank you all. Have a lovely service.
Thank you.
So, please join me in song as we send our youth to wisdom exploration. May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love as your hands know justice. As you grow your way, please. As you grow your way, please. Each week, our offering is a practice of living into our shared value of generosity. This faith community is self-sustaining. What we give to it is what keeps it alive. The lights on, the music playing, and the compassion flowing. Through our giving, we nurture the ministries, relationships, and compassion that make UUSLO who we are. As the baskets come around, you are invited to give in the way that feels right for you. You can also give through the giving page on our website or the QR code in the order of service. Please join with me in the words for the offering. We are this church. We are its hands, its heart, its voice. Together we share the wealth of this community and sustain it with our gifts. The offering will now be given and received. Thank you. Joys and sorrows are one way we practice compassion and conversation in this community. It's a time when we share the personal and profound heart stories of our lives. Whether you bring laughter or tears, what you share matters, and we hold it together. Before we begin, let us pause and remember the present moment and the joys and sorrows that rest in the quiet sanctuary of our hearts. So from Judith Bernstein. So no one will ask about my trip to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I thought I'd let people know that I didn't go. My flight from SLO to Denver was delayed by 3 hours, and that meant missing the plane to Jackson. And that would have meant finding a hotel in Denver, a taxi there and back, rebooking a flight, and missing 1 day of planned activities. So I bailed and returned home very disappointed, but it was a risk I was aware of, and planning a trip to San Diego instead. Bonus, got refunded for everything, and we'll be taking trains and buses for now. From Susan Lauer. I have a joy that in spite of the recent wave of anti-immigrant sentiment, with past support of this fellowship and guiding from our Andy Peace, there will be another Day of the Dead celebration in the Mission Plaza, and I will be able to put up an altar sponsored by Latino Outreach Council. From Gina and Ken. Ken and I are joyfully traveling to Brooklyn and then Yellow Springs, Ohio, where we will visit our 4 grand kiddos, Olu, Jasmine, Jimmy, and Ruby. Looking forward to hugs, squeals, laughter, and storytelling. Not looking forward to 6 different plane rides, 6 different airports, and the possible delays and cancellations due to shutdown. See you after November 10th. And from Judy, Philbin. There was a wonderful gathering at the home of Andrea Brown this past Friday, thanks to a fantastic auction item she offered for our spring auction. We were treated to an afternoon of games and a feast of British-inspired treats. Thank you, Andrea. And from Rosemary Lucier, a big thank you to Andrea Brown for a very fun evening of great food, games, and stimulating conversations. I'm getting curious about what those British-inspired treats were. And from Allison Ritker, we miss our friend and committed member of the Welcome Team and of the Worship Arts Committee, Lily Diamond. Lily is dealing with long COVID, and her doctor ordered her to cut back her activities. We hope she will feel stronger and come back soon. And now let us hold these joys and sorrows, those spoken and those unspoken, in our hearts.
Today's reading is from the Soul Matters October curriculum. Compassion is not just niceness and thoughtful feelings. It's about something deeper, an impulse that drives us to action. Indeed, that may be compassion's defining characteristic. It is distinguished by doing. To feel the pain of another, empathy has that covered, but compassion takes it a step further. It urges us to do something about that pain. In other words, compassion calls us to change things. It's not just about comforting others, it's about our comfort getting disturbed. It's about connecting with another's pain and struggle so deeply that we can't rest until they rest. When we feel compassion, real compassion, we don't just understand another's pain, we want it to stop. And then we do what's needed to make it stop. And if that's the case, then maybe compassion's question for us this month isn't what we first imagined. Instead of asking us, how deeply are you able to feel? Maybe it's asking, what are you prepared to do?
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, we can see a ray of hope, one pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we can start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. When our faith is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of man. A city of man. A city of man.
Thank you. So we wanted to share our Tijuana home build experience with all of you because you made this project happen. You generously supported us in many ways. So we start with our home bake sale back on September 21st. There is Pinar, there is Gina, and there is many of you helping us out getting the money that we needed to go down to Tijuana. 10 of us drove or carpooled down to First UU Church of San Diego on October 10th. There we parked our cars and took 2 large vans across the border. 8 other UUs from 4 different congregations joined us. Joe Sinatra and his 9-year-old son Leo were welcome additions to the group, coming from UU Church of Long Beach. Here they are crossing the border along with Anne, her son Ethan, and Jen. We drove to our friendly lodgings called Gary Marr, the first names of a UU couple who run an Airbnb. This is located in the Tijuana suburb of Playas de Tijuana, near the ocean. The first evening, we gathered on the Gary Marr rooftop to get oriented, and we're happy to be greeted with both a rainbow and a spectacular sunset. Very early the next morning, our 2 vans took us a half-hour south through the city of Rosarito and way out into the country on the bumpiest roads you can ever imagine. We came to the building site where we gathered with the master carpenters to get our instructions. Kathy Fowler, the executive director of Casas de Luz, is standing on the left, and she is naming all the teams that are needed to do the build. We all self-selected which team we wanted and jumped in. And just want to go back a little bit to that one. So what's involved in raising a wall? Well, imagine that it takes a lot of people and a master carpenter saying more, stop. And that's what happened. Let's see if we can make it work. Oh, I have to go back.
Here, let me get it real quick.
Yes, please. There we go. And you might recognize somebody there. Okay. And now, do we go to the next one? Let's see. Oh, too far. I think that, there we go. All right. By noon, we only started about 8 o'clock in the morning. By noon, the walls were up. Then the trusses were installed at the top, and the interior walls came quickly after that. Jacob and Jim made a good team working on a variety of projects. Here's Tracy pausing to rest with 2 2x6-foot boards, 2 by 6 inches long boards, I guess I should say. And we started to get to know the family who was building with us. Here, Judy and I are taking a break with Mateo, the younger son of the family, whom you've already met a little bit in the children's story. Morning and evening meal times were wonderful social events with so many choices of food. Garrett and Mateo are working together on something that seems to be electrical. There was a very active roof gang putting on the OSB plywood. I think the team loved being on the roof. The plywood would soon be followed with roofing paper and shingles. There was a lot of hammering and pounding. And we could take breaks anytime. Here, Kathy Fowler and Jan take a photo break. And now I'd like to hand this over to Jan to continue.
Judy, painter extraordinaire. Here's the family Ermida. Paula, Victor, Anderson, and Mateo. The whole family is painting one of their bedrooms. What a skilled carpenter Jim is. You'll hear from him in a little while. And Garrett, testing the electricity, so important to a home. Last year, DK, Garrett's dad, was with us, also working on electricity. Also a skilled carpenter. This picture is worth seeing again. Kids can only paint for so long. And Marie and Tracy volunteered to decorate. This was really became a home, not just a house, with all the decorating and furnishings. Anyway, I don't want to go into that more, and it looks like Marie was arranging dishes also. A lot of dishes were donated. Here's the living room, almost finished. See, there's a couch, some pictures, a rug, a real home. I don't think you.
For helping us have a new house.
Yo soy muy llorona.
I cry a lot.
¿Está bien? Puedes llorar.
Let me explain what you just saw. At the end of a home build, Casas de Luz always has what's called a key ceremony. Kathy gives the key. We're all standing in a big circle, the family up in the front of the house, and we each give a blessing to the family as we pass the key around. So this is at the end of the key ceremony, and so each of the family was talking, and you could see they were kind of emotional and very happy. Then they go in the house and lock the door, and symbolically one of us goes and knocks on the door to be their first guest. So that was the key ceremony, the ending of the key ceremony. And here they are too. With Dario was on the right, he was translating because they don't speak English. So we were able to communicate even though we didn't all speak the same language. See how happy they are. This is their home. First home they've owned. So here again is the picture of everybody. And here are the UUSLO folks. Marie's being a little silly there. All right, on to Binational Friendship Park. We took another day so we could actually visit the border wall. This is the northwest corner of Latin America. Way up there, San Diego is on the other side of the wall. That's the Pacific Ocean. A pretty monumental place. It was founded in 1971 by Pat Nixon, and it is designed to be a place where friends on both sides of the border can gather. Those are names of deported veterans, by the way, that you can see on there. So that they let the Mexican people kind of decorate it as they want. The Mexican side has lots of artwork, some done by UUs in the past, except that that wall was torn down and they've built two big walls now that are 30 feet tall. And they're starting to redecorate those. There's also a beautiful native garden, and sometimes live music on the Mexican side. There's no art on the US side, but you can get to it by walking through a state park, and that's where we've gone to border church over the years. It can be in the US and the Mexico side. There's a church service every Sunday since 2006. It's hard now because there's these two walls that are quite a ways away, so we can't see people. If you look closely between the 30-feet iron posts, you can see the other wall back there, and you see lots of barbed wire that makes it more menacing. Each time we go, it seems to be more militarized, higher walls, and surveillance systems. Here some of us are sharing a lunch. You can't see the whole thing here, but this is part of a beautiful new painting of a condor and an eagle. It's a call to heal past harms, honor indigenous wisdom, and walk together into a future of balance, harmony, and friendship across borders. So we'll leave you with love at the center. Okay. For the last part of our sermon, we call all of the other UUSLO folks who went with us. We're going to all take turns sharing about a minute or something like that, maybe however your hearts go. Come on up. Yeah, can you turn the lights up, please, Hosea? So please give your name as you begin, and we'll just go down the line.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ann Freed. Thankful to have been a part of this trip. And my highlight was really shared gratitude. We talked about the key ceremony, and just ahead of that, as people were assembling, Paula, who is the mother, was just overcome with emotion and tears. And I was looking at her, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I gave her a big hug, and we were both in tears. And for me, it was that shared gratitude, not only to see how excited she was to have this home, but for me, to be able to be part of that. It was pretty spectacular. Jacob?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jacob Volkov, and well, I feel very fortunate to live here in California and to also own a home. So I want to be part of the home build. Okay. So I want to be a part of the home build to help give back to others who aren't as fortunate as myself. Being in Tijuana for the first time was an eye-opener to see how challenging other parts of the world can be. Here, we take for granted having smooth paved roads, plumbing with running water, flushing toilets, but that isn't always the case in Mexico. Everyone was incredibly friendly at the build, and we all worked well together in close quarters sometimes, even though most of us had just met. As it turned out, Jim and I ended up working together as a two-man team. And we worked so much together that someone called us Thing 1 and Thing 2 from Dr. Seuss' book. I was really impressed with how energetic Jim was. He just kept going like the Energizer Bunny Rabbit. And his skills from building sets for theater productions was really helpful. I was happy that the family was happy with their home, and it was heartwarming to contribute my skills for this effort.
My name is Jim Crawford. I just wanted to say that I've wanted to help build a house for a long time. And I was so glad that I finally got to fulfill this dream. I didn't know if I would ever make it. And as a bonus, the other thing I liked the most was getting a lot of personal satisfaction about building friendships with all these people. I think I know more people here now than I ever did before. And then in addition, all the other people from California and the people from Mexico. And so I really appreciate that opportunity. And I wanted to thank all of you who contributed to enable us to go. Thank you.
a special aspect for me was stepping out of my own world and learning about what other people are up to in this world. So there's Kathy, who you saw her picture. She started this program 20 years ago, and now she has amazingly joyfully and strategically overseen the building of over 200 houses in Mexico. And there's Gary. We stayed in his Airbnb. He's worked for years, decades, on behalf of deported veterans. And if that doesn't make sense to you, it didn't to me at first. So a deported veteran is an immigrant who's come to the United States, served in the US military, and many of them believing that they would be granted citizenship with this. But of course that doesn't happen. And so a brush with the law means that they are beep, back into Mexico. And I got to meet, and so Gary's been working with these people and trying to give support. And I met Edwin, who is a deported veteran, and got to hear his story and how, and the stories of others who have had experiences like his. And then, like Jim said, I got to talk to so many people and learn just about my fellow builders. So I like to say that while I brought back a lot of dirty clothes in my suitcase, I brought back a lot of wonderful stories in my heart.
My name is Garrett Philbin, and over the past year or two, I've really just found myself enjoying doing things with my hands. And so like building decks and sheds and picture frames, and a really fun aspect of that has been able to share it with other people. So like giving picture frames to friends and giving them as gifts. And so the idea of being able to give a house as kind of a gift, it's like, heck yeah, I'm in, this is awesome. And so I got down there, and it was just, as so many of others have said, to be able to build new relationships, to get to know new things about these people who we'd gone through like the planning sessions, but to really get to spend time with them, meals with them was awesome. And then getting to know the family, like doing electrical with Mateo and having him stripping wires and putting things together while all the electrical was off, don't worry. But like, it was just so much fun, especially we couldn't really communicate because my Spanish is terrible and he doesn't know English, but we were able to work it out. And it was just so incredible to see what can be done when people have a job, when they work together and support each other. And in a day and a half, we had a house. That was such a fulfilling experience.
Douglas Pillsbury, and I went down to Tijuana to build my third house, hoping it would go well, because the second house was pretty cold that weekend. It was April, and it rained twice and hailed, and it wasn't quite as much fun. But I had also been kind of feeling the weight of organizing and planning this event for months. There's a lot of that. But in fact, everything went fantastically well. I was surprised and delighted by the absolute joy that everyone seemed to be feeling. The family, the master carpenters, the volunteer builders, including me. It was just we were helping a wonderful family build their dream home. And we were all getting to know each other better, too, as we worked together. I just felt a lightness of being in all of us as this simple little house quickly became a precious home.
Jan Meslin. 3 joys for me were reconnecting with friends in Mexico, watching all of you experiencing this trip with joy, and the fact that 2 UUSLO board members chose to come with us. Why do I keep going on UU Justice Ministry of California trips to Tijuana? Since 2013, I might add. In addition to what I already said, to raise awareness, to help educate, and to activate people. Of course, there are many ways right here in San Luis Obispo to improve lives and to make good change, but there's something special about having adventures in new places. As Kathy Fowler says, and you've heard already today, we built a home together, not a house. And we built this home with a beautiful family, not for a beautiful family. So let us continue to make the world where all people thrive. Thank you. All right. Please rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number 1064 in the teal hymnal, Blue Boat Home. Or you can follow the words on the screen.
Please join me in these words as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
From Pema Chodron. Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It is a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness well can we be present with the darkness of others. Compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity. Go in love, go in peace.